The key to success lies in nurturing today's talent and shaping the future together. Tune into HR Wired every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central African Time on www.africabusinessradio.com for your weekly dose of HR insights, innovation, and debate. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.
And we are back. Please follow us on Twitter at Africa Biz Radio, on Facebook Africa Business Radio, hashtag HRWired, or drop us an email, info@africabusinessradio.com. You can also download our app from the App Store, which will allow you to take the radio station on your mobile and interact with us and chat and send questions and so on and so forth. And this flu is just getting worse. They had to pick me up off the floor. I was weeping like a small child. It was fabulous. So our next guest, very, very excited, Samantha Baleson of Aon, South Africa. The topic under discussion today, in my script here, it says, with great power comes great responsibility and professional accountability. So we hold professionals to a higher standard, and as such, they have greater accountability due to the decision-making process and the decisions that they're making. And I've got Samantha here, who's going to take us through professional accountability. Good morning, Samantha. Do we have you on the line?
Morning. Good morning, Gavin. Good morning, team. How are you?
We are fantastic. Well, I'm not. They've got me shackled to the chair here. I'm not allowed to go home and sleep.
No, man.
But anyway, Samantha, give us a brief rundown of Aon South Africa, what you guys do, yourself, what your role is there, and we can take it from there.
So I am a legal and risk advisor at Aon based in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I form part of the professional indemnity team. I work for the largest broker, one of the largest brokers in the world. And basically, we provide broking services for a variety of, we offer a variety of services to our clients, but my service specifically is legal. So as part of the professional indemnity policies that you may take out with Aon, and today I'm going to focus on the financial sector, so accountants and tax practitioners, you get access to me, to a lawyer, to give you legal advice with regards to your policy, and to discuss these types of issues with you.
Okay, fantastic. So, professionals, what legal accountability? Why are professionals held to a higher standard than the layman's like me and Saji?
All right. So, in terms of our law, we use a benchmark really in South African law to test the basis of negligence. So, when there's a claim, when a litigant has suffered harm as a result of something that a professional has done or a recommendation that they have made, and there is damages that have been suffered, and a court has made an award, they will always need to test negligence. They will need to find a way to determine whether or not that professional actually acted negligently.
Right.
Now, in terms of our law, the general test for negligence is the reasonable person test.
Okay.
Or as previously known, the reasonable man test.
Yeah.
And the question for that is, what would a similar person in a similar situation have done? However, when you're dealing with a professional, that yardstick changes because you're now not dealing with the reasonable person, you are dealing with the reasonable expert.
Okay.
So the standard of care, the burden, that the yardstick that is used now becomes a lot more onerous. So the court will say, what would the reasonable expert have done in a similar situation, with a similar set of qualifications, skills, experience, access to information, and so on? And if that was unreasonable, then that person will be determined to have been negligent. Then the second leg of the test will always be whether or not it was reasonable for a third party in harm to have actually relied on that expert opinion or that advice. And if somebody did rely on it and they suffered as a result of that, they suffered damages, then they're entitled to claim damages in terms of our law. Now, based on whether or not they have a contract with that third party, they will sue in terms of the law of contract. But if they don't have an agreement, if there's actually no professional relationship set up, so I'll give you an example of somebody doing your tax return as a favor.
Right.
because you didn't pay them and just because you don't have an agreement with them doesn't mean that liability doesn't ensue.
Oh, okay.
So there they would have a claim against you in terms of the law of dealing.
Hello? Sorry.
Yes, sorry, I think I just lost you there.
Yeah.
Yes. So there they would have a claim in terms of the law of delict, which is a lot more onerous to prove in court, and it's not the easiest route to sue somebody, but it means that you can be held liable regardless of whether or not you are being paid a fee and regardless of whether or not you have a contract in place with somebody.
Now, this... we all remember the 80s and 90s in the States and the movies and LA Law and all that, and it was understood that the American society was quite litigious. If you burnt your lips on a cup of coffee, you would sue and you would get millions of dollars. And it was never quite like that here in South Africa. South Africans, by nature, are not. Has this changed? Are we becoming more litigious? Do we expect more from our professionals, from our service providers, etc., etc.?
Well, we definitely are moving towards a more litigious society, which basically means that people are aware of the fact that they have rights and they are provided the opportunity and the channels in which to sue and claim. Often they go through what's known as an attorney that's operating on a service structure on a contingency basis, which means that even if you don't have any money to pay a lawyer, you can go to an attorney and say, right, if you win my matter, I will give you X amount of what is awarded against the party that I'm claiming from.
Oh,
so,
right.
yes, for that reason, we are becoming a lot more litigious. But the good news really is that our law is a lot more fair than, the jury-based system that the American legal system operates in terms of. In terms of South African law, you have to actually prove quantifiable damages and loss. You have to prove the amount that you suffered, and that has to be linked to something definite. And in terms of American law, it's quite different because they're obviously operating in terms of the jury system.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's a lot more fair. The reality is that people are being sued and are suing, and the trend to sue is a lot more likely because of that contingency fee basis, that you're able to access legal services.
Because you keep hearing these advertisements on the radio and on the telly that we will go to the road accident fund for you and we will go here, and
yes.
That's all based on contingency
yes.
plans.
Yes, a lot of the work, is offered on a contingency fee basis, and that's purely for the reason that a lot of people don't have the money up front to pay for a lawyer, and they sort of in the past were urged away from claiming. And persuaded from exercising their legal rights because they just didn't have the money. Whereas now times have completely changed and you're absolutely afforded that opportunity to claim.
Does this bode well for us as a people, or is it, I don't know, I get an uneasy feeling?
Yeah. I think for the professional, it definitely means a lot more, and it means that their responsibilities are a lot more onerous. Because it's not just about now coming in every day and doing your job and packing up and going home and you have nothing else to worry about. The reality is that if you're a professional and you're offering professional services, then you need to be aware of that, and you need to be aware of the fact that if you cause somebody a loss or harm, that they are more than likely going to claim from you. And if they do claim from you, the court is going to use that test for negligence against you to determine whether or not that third party suffered as a result of your professional advice or conduct. But the good news in all of this is there is insurance that you can take out for that.
It was my very next question. Every single professional needs some sort of indemnity cover.
Yes, exactly. And you are afforded that opportunity to cover yourself and take out the PI cover and offer that product. And, what the beauty of it is that our extensions are tailor-made to the industry. So we offer a variety of products and policies that can assist you in the business, but also have tailor-made extensions that are specific to the professional's risk.
So you guys are pretty much, you're pretty much industry agnostic.
Exactly. We're aware of the risks out there. We're aware of the type of claims that are affecting our clients' businesses, and because of that, we've actually tailor-made our policy wordings for that.
Fantastic. Samantha, we have run out of time. Can you believe it? Thank you so much. Hopefully we can have you back on the show. That was fascinating. I'm not so sure I am comfortable with this country becoming more litigious. I'm going to go and hide in the cupboard. And hopefully we can chat to you in the coming weeks again.
Lovely chatting. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Samantha. That was Samantha Baleson of AN South Africa, chatting to us with about professional accountability and litigation and litigious societies. I always those American movies from the 80s and 90s always used to scare the hell out of me, and I hoped it wouldn't ever come here, but the times move, hey. All right, we're going to take a short break. Please follow us on Twitter at Africa Biz Radio, on Facebook, Africa Business Radio, #HRWide, or drop us an email at info@africabusinessradio.com.
Human resources can no longer be regarded as a paper-pushing job. It is vital that the HR function is at the heart of your organizational structure, playing a part in all strategic, tactical, and operational decisions. It is about making employers realize that the most valuable assets in their arsenal are employees. HR is about achieving organizational goals through people and creating incentives that align employee objectives with the organization's mission statement.